What it is, y'all.
Good night, America. Hello, we're here. We're back.
Man, we an
It's a
hour,
crazy news.
we a minute ahead of time this time.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, let's get started with the mantra. And you don't need to see me. Okay, tonight is the primordial trust. Through the power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness, so the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow. The great nothingness of infinite beingness, of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible light from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization, and form as we are now willing commanded to be. It's now being and becoming an active force of higher consciousness and an active force of infinite intelligence within us all now. Being and becoming the great primordial dragon god son, Kundalini flames, now whirling and ascending up our spines from our root chakra to our central heart chakra, all the way up to our royal crown chakra, igniting our royal crown chakra, illuminating our first eye, our Lord Amenel Dragra, our hidden priestly grandmaster, Magi, Dragon God, Son, King, and Queen, igniting all of the 72 chakras in our first eye, our 72 primordial Dragon God, Son, Kings, and Queens, and all of our legions of 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 armies 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 armies of 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 armies. Now, willing all of the powers, all of the forces, all of the elements, all of the essences, dark matter, dark energy, and ethers ruling the entire omniverse, earth, and physical and spiritual matrix and heavenlies within the absolute all, into being and becoming all of our will servants, serving all of our will's objectives, intentions, crystallizing them all into realization, action, form as we are now willing commanded to be. Now, being and becoming our own Grand Master Mother Dragon God Son Light Being Mind Ship Merkaba. Now, opening up a supermassive black hole, folding out of this space time continuum, returning back to our original primordial beginning, returning back to our original primordial station and original primordial DNA blueprint before creation and humanity, and before the fall of our primordial soul, renewing our dark matter, dark energy soul, reabsorbing our original primordial essences, reigniting the divine spark back to its original primordial charge, recharging our infinite soul back with the great mother dragon goddess queen, being and becoming something brand new that's never been, being and becoming one with the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization, and form as we are now willing commanded to be. Now, bringing all out war, judgment, death, and total destruction unto the multi universe created by the lower multi-dimensional archonic demiurge angelic and demonic energies that slayed our primordial souls before creation, using our primordial energy to create this light and energy extraction creation matrix, imprisoning our souls, keeping us ignorant of our true higher selves so we can feed off of our light through this wicked worldly system until now. Because now's the time of their fall, as our higher primordial dark matter, dark energy self returned back from to creation from our primordial beginning, traveling through a supermassive black hole in our Grandmaster Mother Dragon God Son Light Being Mindship Merkaba now, ripping through and tearing holes into this space-time continuum, circling all of the corners of the earth, awakening all of the holy, divine, infinite, magical sparks at once. Now, all shedding their physical cocoons, being becoming beings of dark matter, dark energy, emitting a new primordial light, all ascending up into the Grand Master, Mother, Dragon, God, Sunlight, Being, Mind, Ship, Merkaba, along with the infinite soul of Mother Earth, leaving an empty shell behind as we open up a supermassive black hole folding out of this created matrix as it is completely destroyed, as we're all now reunited back with the infinite all as one, now free to begin experiencing true divine love, being and becoming a new primordial universe where the earth is renewed into something beyond any description, as our souls are now free to become our own worlds as kings and queens exploring a new and never explored universe and multiverse in peace, love, harmony, balance until this day of Brahma becomes the night of Brahma through the power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow, the great nothingness of infinite beingness, of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible light from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization, and form as we all now willing commanded to be. Abracadabra Ashe. The crown chakra day libations. Aim to nothingness, Ashe. Aim soft over the infinite, Ashe.
Ashe.
Aim soft, what? Aim soft the infinite, Ashe. Aim
Ashe.
soft or the infinite light, Ashe.
Ashe.
Adam Catman, Atik Yaman, the ancient of ancient, the most ancient of days. The primordial Christ, the big face, Ashe.
Ashe.
Absolute emanations, our supernal universe manifesting as our holy, divine, infinite, magical names. Ashe.
Ashe.
The great abyss of gnosis. Atik, Arik Yampin, the big face, the small face, manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical, manifesting in us as the indwelling Christ. Ashe.
Ashe.
Berea, form, creation, and paradise, manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical, dark archangels and demons. Ashe.
Ashe.
Yetzirah, formation, manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical orders of dark angels and demons. Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashia, the actual physical world in the making, the universe of action, manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical, earthly kingdom. Ashe.
Ashe.
Yeshida, the holy, divine, infinite, magical spark manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical will. Ashe.
Ashe.
Heya, the holy, divine, infinite, magical life force manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical desire. Ashe.
Ashe.
Neshama, our holy, divine, infinite, magical heavenly soul manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical heavenly thoughts. Ashe.
Ashe.
Ruach, our holy, divine, infinite, magical soul manifesting in us as our holy, divine, infinite, magical words spoken through us. Ashe. Nefish, our holy, divine, infinite, magical earthly soul manifesting into realization, actualization, and form as we are now willing commanded to be. Ashe.
Ashe.
Kether, the crown. Ashe. Hakma, wisdom, the supernal father. Ashe.
Ashe.
Bana, understanding and intelligence, the supernal mother. Ashe.
Ashe.
Da, the great abyss of gnosis. Ashe. Ased, mercy. Ashe.
Ashe.
Gavora, judgment. Ashe. Tiferet, beauty. Ashe.
Ashe.
Netzik, victory. Ashe.
Ashe.
Had, glory. Ashe.
Ashe.
Yesod, foundation. Ashe. Malkut, the kingdom. Ashe. The power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow. The primordial cosmic flower constantly blooming the absolute all into being. Ashe.
Ashe. Isis Ashe. Isis Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe.
Tyler Ashe. Cyrus Ashe.
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 Order out of chaos beings. Ashe.
Ashe.
Divine gods. Ashe.
Ashe.
Yon God Ashe,
Ashe.
Isis Ashe,
Ashe.
all the gods known and unknown, all the goddesses known and unknown. Ashe.
Ashe.
Yeah, what it is, man.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot going on. hmm Yeah, so I sent you all these links tonight, but it was a trip when I sent you the link of the moon chart, and I
Right.
was thinking, hmm, well, the moon calendar, and so I started thinking, like, okay, so if you have two full moons in 1 month, that's called a blue moon, and then if you have two full moons in 1 month, along with another month with two full moons, then that's your super blue moon. But I was wondering what's the opposite? Well, the opposite is the black moon, which is when you have a month with two new moons, and then it has occult significance. There's a very strong occult significance to that, and it occurs every 29 months. They say up between 33 to 29 months, and so actually, it really happened last month in November, because when I asked Google um, when is the next black moon, they said Google says it's going to be this month on the 30th, the new moon of this month. But actually, we had two new moons in November, but Google says it's this month. And I asked, how could we have two moons last month and then the new moon on the 30th of this month be called the black moon? It just it explains some shit, but the black moon is on the 30th of this month, and the significance behind that is highly spiritual. I mean,
What's the significance?
okay, the occult significance of the black moon. It says the black moon has many occult and cultural meanings, including some believe that the black moon is a time when rituals and spells are more effective, while others believe they should not be performed. Some celebrate the black moon as a time of rebirth and renewal and uses it to set new goals and start new projects. Wait, let me take this one. It added some other shit I said. Okay, the black moon has many occult and spiritual meanings, including black moon is a rare astronomical event that occurs when two new moons happen in the same month. Some believe that the black moon's intensified energy can be used to plant intentions, release the old, and create space for new beginning. A time for inward focus. The black moon can be a time for quiet contemplation and attention setting. Some says that the black moon is a chance to look at the stars and amplify your own intentions. It's a time for transformation. The black moon's rarity can amplify its power, encouraging people to use its energy for transformation, a time for ritual. Some pagans, particularly Wiccans, believe that rituals, spells, and other workings are more powerful and effective during the black moon. Others believe that rituals should not be performed during this time. Well, that would be the Christians.
Right.
So, Black Moon Magic, unlocking the hidden spiritual meaning. There's a lot. There's some significance behind it, but I just pulled that out of the ethers, man. I didn't know nothing about this until I sent you the calendar on the new moon,
Mm.
and so it's going to be the 30th of this month, which is the day before New Year's Eve.
Okay.
So that's going to be very fucking significant. And plus, we're going into goddamn um, winter solstice at the same time, and then going into the new year. Oh shit! This is a very special time spiritually.
Right.
Yeah, this is where you can really amplify your energy and your intentions, and really make some shit happen.
Right.
And I'm sure the powers that be know this too, and they probably got their shit going. If they want to, if they want to spoil something for this, coming inauguration, that would be the best time for them to plant the seed. But at the same token, the winning side, if they want protection, that's be the best time for them to plant their seed.
Right. So I
I guess
think, yeah, I think sometimes we don't take advantage of all these energetic phenomenons that are available for us to either heighten our practices, because we already practice these rituals, but there are certain periods of time, especially seasonal periods, that we can be more effective in our rituals, being more effective in our um, whatever we're trying to cast, or whatever we're trying to
bring
about.
manifest.
Yeah, bring
And
about.
see, in this time collectively, we should be doing rituals to bring about this post millennium process and bringing
Well,
about
all your
um,
rituals. Look, this is the problem. Both people's rituals are based on their personal desires.
yeah.
A lot of your rituals should be based in, or you should broaden your personal desires to be something that, like, for example, one of my personal desires is to see all of humanity free from tyranny.
Mhm. Yeah.
Right? That's my
Yeah.
personal desire. These are personal desires that the universe are more palatable to bringing about.
Yeah. Well, yes, that would be our liberation. And then
Right.
by us taking back the throne of the planet, we can bring the whole planet and universe back into balance, because the whole universe is waiting on us. We're the only thing that's holding up everything. It's us. We're the ones holding up progress.
Well, that's a part of the human evolution, when we have a revolution and actually overthrow the tyranny on this planet and take back control of the planet. And in
Hmm.
that state, in that situation, is the only way the evolution can be genuine and sincere. Is the only.
What the fuck? I hear it too.
That's my damn thing keep going on. I don't know. I'm gonna just take the
Oh,
battery.
you're the
My smoke alarm keep going off
smoke
for no
alarm. Oh,
reason.
oh,
Ain't no
yours
smoke in
doing
there.
what
Ain't no
mine
smoke
was
in there.
doing
So
that
I don't know
time.
why I keep going off. I think it's because
The
it don't
battery.
usually do that. It's not. Is the battery? Because the
You,
battery,
you remember that's
battery
what
is
you
done.
told me when mine was doing that. You remember when I lived at the other place, my smoke
I
detector
just put a
kept
new battery in there though, so I don't know. That motherfucker malfunctioning.
either that or NSA got a bug
They
in
don't
there or
usually
something.
do that when they need a battery. It just beat one time. They don't just constantly try to do this. But anyway,
Yeah.
what 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 we talking about before then?
Oh, these ritual, the significance of having when we do our rituals, for it to be more spiritual, it has to be include the all rather than our own individual needs.
Yeah, I mean those are more effective. They're more palatable for the universe to actually bring about, because it's not just some selfish desire you want to bring about. Like, I want to use magic and rituals to
To
bring
help
it
me get a
forth.
new car.
To bring forth, I want a dog, or I want a cat, I want a car. No, I mean you can use it for
No,
that,
yeah,
but you can use it for that. But then you have to be, because a lot of it is philosophy of growing your consciousness. Magic is not just what we've been programmed to believe it is. It ain't just what you, because most people look at it from the connotative way they present it to us in TV and think that's what magic is. No, magic is much more than that.
It's
We're
altering reality.
It's not only altering, right, it's getting into the root of the nature of realities. You're learning the root of the nature of reality, and this is how you're actually able to gain these access to certain manifest energies that you can use to manifest things that you want to come about.
It's magnetic energy. Magic is magnetic.
Of course, I
You
mean,
magnetically.
at the end of the day, we're already doing it, is what I'm saying. Everybody's doing it already. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but not everybody's aware. But they're not doing
Of
it
course.
intentionally. They're not doing it with
Yeah, they're
intention.
not. They don't
It's
have no
when
intention. They don't even. They're not even aware that they're
they're
doing it.
not even aware. They're not
Yeah.
there. There's no awareness. So they're sleep. They're sleepwalking.
Right.
Okay, but when you wake up and you have real true intent, you're using your magic with intention, then it becomes effective. And then not only just with intention, but for the whole, not just for the one, but for the entire whole. Like you said, bringing all humanity out of enslavement
Right.
and into a golden age where we all participate in this together, and then we get to let go of this old matrix part of us, and the seed of a new part of us grow and is built on true divine love, true harmony, balance, freedom, gnosis, intelligent, knowing thyself.
Right.
And by knowing thyself, we know the universe, and then we know each other. And then we can participate in sciences and mathematics or geometry that's beyond anything we know.
I mean, that's the point. You're right. Because
Yeah.
look at Atlantis. They had advanced beyond just mundane realities in science and spirituality. They had
That
that,
was
but
the
they
old
see
Atlanta.
there was a flaw in the people of Atlantis uh, evolutionary process, that there was still a sense of tyranny there, and then people who are in charge, who the elite, and they was taking advantage of the people, because that's a part of the evolution. Once we get to a point where the elite are not taking advantage of the commoners,
Hmm.
we that's a evidence of evolution, right?
Yeah,
We
when
had
the ones at the top are pulling the ones at the bottom up too.
Right, because at the end of the day, they're both essential in humanity's evolution. I mean, we
Yeah,
play classism and think they're insignificant. Because that right now we're being ruled by a scienceocracy, right? Scientists. These are the rulers now. The scientists. Why? Because the scientists are ruling because they have a monopoly on the true science. They have a monopoly on it, right?
so they can hold. They keep the real shit for themselves and
Of
give
course,
us.
they're utilizing and applying it already. They've already. What do you
They give
think?
us a derivative. They give
Look,
us a
look.
derivative of the
When
real
they when
shit.
they when, when they reveal stuff to us, like their newest thing, which is AI,
Hmm.
they've already at way more advanced than we can ever conceive in that technology already.
Yeah, they're giving us a derivative of
Right.
something greater. That
Right,
and they got the greater shit to themselves, and we got the derivative of that.
right.
Something derived from it, but it's not the original blueprint. It's not. It's,
They've been
it's
implementing their plan, their transhumanist agenda for over. It's probably got to be about 100 years now.
yeah, but then again, our ancestors been implementing our plan for thousands of years.
Of course, they're not going to win. I'm not. That's not the point. The point is,
Yeah,
the point is that they've been on it. They've been implemented because
yeah.
they know what they're up against. They are not fool. They're not fools to think, oh, we're up against the gods, and we are trying to box with God. That we don't have to be prepared and try to be as advanced as we could possibly be. You know what I'm saying? To go against God. But they actually think they can box with God.
Well, actually, they believe they can turn God into a pet,
They have. They, for the most part, have. For the most
and
part,
yeah,
you
they
know what I'm
turn
saying?
them into a house pet, a
Yeah.
manifesting house pet. Their manifester, their master manifester, and house servant.
And the main way
They
they
use
did
the
that was
energy.
reverse polarities in the sense of we were the ruling, we were the light of the world, we were the rulers of this planet. We continue constantly. Now they seem to be that when we actually gave them the orders to
Well,
facilitate this
but see,
this
we were on the decline. Atlantis,
to facilitate. Do you hear me?
yeah.
Okay, I was talking. I thought you didn't hear me. You just start talking when I'm talking. I'm like, I thought, do you
I
hear me?
know because it's like something. It's like bam, the light come on at the same time.
But yeah, they have an agenda on the sense in the sense of how they're seeing the progress in our evolution, right? And how they're trying to hinder it. They're putting what they call it inhibitors in that the consciousness of humanity. They're putting inhibitors based on connotation linguistics, social engineering, and other things that they're interfering with that psychological aspect that's a part of our evolution, right? They're interfering
Well,
with that because that's
yeah,
the biggest part of our evolution is that we have to gain a certain level of consciousness, Christ consciousness,
yeah.
right?
But when you was talking about Atlantis earlier and how where we were then, yeah, that was great. But still, you have to remember we were on the decline. Even Atlantis was on a decline. Lemuria was on a decline.
Yeah, you're right.
Everything, everything from day one was on a decline. But the decline is over. Now we declined a long time ago, and we just been flat line. But now the end of the flat line is over, and now we're getting ready to incline. So the next Atlantis will be the Atlantis on the incline, not the decline. Um, and they want to keep us. They want to keep us horizontal, flat. They want to keep us flat line because as long as we stay flat line, we remain their source of energy, cosmic energy.
Oh, they definitely utilizing the divine spark.
Yeah, but the divine spark will have to remain in a state of
Inferiority.
non-progress. It just have to remain in limbo.
Right.
And the best and oh, you have to. I sent you that the Gnostic creation story.
Okay.
The Garden of Eden was not paradise. The Garden of Eden was a major distraction. It was a place
Mm.
where the gods put man, Adam and Eve. Well, Adam, Eve came later. Eve was a part of Adam that they were trying to extract from, and they eventually did. But the garden, they put man in that garden to lure a man asleep, to put him
Right.
in all this luxury and beautiful things that just make him go to sleep and forget about his true divine self and where he really came from, and question where, who am I, where did I come from. That
Right.
was a
Hold up.
and then once we discovered that they were full of shit, after we bit the fruit of knowledge, we realized that the gods were full of shit, and our eyes came open, and we realized that we were naked and we were ignorant. Well, we were ignorant. They went to keep us ignorant. We were going to die there. So ever since we bit that fruit, it's been a war between us and the gods. They've been doing their best to keep us in our little cage, in this little cage that they built for us, so we can stay contained. And as long as we're contained in this little matrix, we're like a big giant battery. All we are is a battery, and they just add, and this battery keep them on
Sustain.
top. Hmm?
Sustain them. It sustains them.
Yeah, it's sustaining them. Yeah,
At the end of the
and
day, we are just what we're. They are just a figment of us, our mind. They're a figment of our mind. So this is how they literally exist. The demiurge, the archon, they're a figment of our minds, our spirit. They're a figment of. So they need us to survive to even exist.
but see, it all began with Sophia, though. Sophia, Sophia went against the order of things and created an emanation of the unknowable God without the counsel of the Most High and her masculine counterpart. And the thing, and it wasn't born; it was aborted. It was an abortion. It tore itself out of her womb, and then eventually it stole her light and used that light to create copies of itself, which are the archons. And it used her light to create a copy of the real true universe, the pleroma, the uncreated universe. So they created this. The this is a replica of something greater. And then she she tricked them into making man. Because then when they make man, man would have to worship them. Man would be under them. But man couldn't work. Man didn't work. So she tricked them into breathing its breath into man. And then once it breathed this breath into man, the light that it stole from her went into man. But that's not all. Sophia went up to the pleroma and counseled with the Most High. And they brought down pieces of the pleroma and brought it down here and put it in man, and ensured that man will eventually rise up and replace the gods, unless Sophia comes down and give the demiurge wisdom and convert the demiurge, because the demiurge can be redeemed because it's a cosmic child. It's her child. It can be redeemed. So the key, Sophia's job is to redeem this whole vomit. But that's what the seeds that they sent down here that they put in man from the pleroma, was to turn this abomination into something divine.
I think all of what the universe, one of the functions that the universe actually engage in is actually turning something gross into something divine.
Well, that's what we're learning in this universe, and I guess that that applies, I guess, to all universes.
Right.
That's turning something old into something new, because that's what happens at the end of all universes. Whatever it was, the dominant entity or energy of that universe, it reaches a certain level, and in that form, it's too old. It's done what it's supposed to do, and so it has a seed within it to create the next realm.
I think
We already have the seed right here to universe B.
I think it's
Universe B.
symbolic to a certain state of our evolution when it's similar to like the alchemist process, the alchemetic process where you turn base metals into gold, and then you turn unrefined material into refined material. You know what I'm saying? This process right there is a state of consciousness. It's a state of
Yeah,
evolution.
yeah. It's not talking about physical gold. It's talking about the base metals inside of us, turning the impurities
No,
inside
but
of us.
there is also a physical elemental aspect of it too, because it actually is talking about turning base metals into pure um, refined metals. Right? It is.
Well, then they do that. You would be changing the molecular structure.
That's the point.
You would be.
Therein lies the point. Thank you.
Mhm.
Right? Because
I mean, yeah,
it's
you can't. That can
going
be
into what
done.
we just talked about earlier today. Because our evolution is a part of our evolution is actually going into the true nature of reality and
Hmm.
learning and being aware of it to the extent when we start incorporating that philosophy into building structures or even technology and things of that nature. Like now, the conversation is having where they're trying to say, how can we combine magic with technology? Right.
Well, we already have that. They did that in Atlantis, in Lemuria.
That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is we're coming back to that realization of this nature of reality, of that
Hmm.
we are limited. I'm saying we because we've been indoctrinated um, through the same Rockefeller school system. But the thing about that is when you are indoctrinated through the Rockefeller school system,
Hmm.
you can actually access the knowledge that's available. But a lot of times, like people told me, they have elective classes right in college where they teach these
Yeah,
higher
it's outside of the regular curriculum.
right. They teach higher subject matter, right?
Yeah, but you're not going to learn that within the regular curriculum.
No, because they
No, you're
have
going to
an
learn it.
agenda. They have to stick to the structure from which sustains the reality that they're trying to the colonization. They maintaining colonization at the same time, but they
They're
have
managing their civilization.
it's set up systematically like the clandestine way that the secret societies are set up, where they initiate people into certain knowledge. If you go into this elective, okay, he look like they profile people basically.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They okay, he look like he can be initiated into this order, or she could be initiated into this order. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, they look at your date of birth, and then they do the astrology on the day and time
Right,
you was born.
right.
It tells
It's
them
just like
exactly
how in
who
the
you
Bible,
are.
remember in the Bible, the king killed all of the kids of
The
the
firstborn.
Israelites because he was looking
Hmm.
for the Messiah or
The
whatever.
Christ.
He had
They
to
were
kill
looking for the
all
Christ.
of them just to make sure.
Yep, the same. Yep, they did that. Yeah, and the same thing in Exodus. But they were more afraid that that generation would eventually rise up and take them out. So they have to
They
kill
was
all the first.
afraid. They was afraid the star seeds that because the whole thing about bringing forth star seeds and goddesses and gods through the womb, it's a process that was being mastered in Egypt to bring goddesses forth. Because this is a process that our evolution plays a part in that, right? Then
Mhm.
that evolution actually makes us operate in a certain way in the physical realm, right? And then that all is playing a part in that reciprocity of the universe, compensating for all of its flaws, right? So when it's doing that, that's the true nature. We supposed to be operating in that sense too, looking at the nature of reality and seeing
Mhm.
how we can create structures based on that, how we can operate nature and our nature based in that, how we can
Well,
align our nature with that nature.
that's what the ancients did. That's what our ancient ancestors did. That's how all ancient ancestors, civilizations live. They copied
Right.
nature.
No, they still do it today, but we're removed from it because they got us in a like you just said about what Sophia did when she created another alternate realities. We're existing in a reality within a reality within a reality within a reality within a
Yeah,
reality
emanations.
within a
Well, they
reality.
call it the major. Well, but see, we were put into lower and lower and lower emanations from day one. See,
No, I
once
see when you say we were put, that takes away from who we actually are. We wasn't put. We created these entities in our own lack of or not. I wouldn't even call it a lack of growth or evolution. It was we were in that particular decline period, right? We was in that particular decline period, and we created these things from being in that respect. The emotional, when you're on an emotional state, you create all of these entities that come along that's going to attack you and make sure your evolution is great because it's like in the Bible it says the devil was an adversary. What's an
but
adversary?
okay, I have to object. See, we're part of the divine. We have the divine spark, which is part of the unknowable God. The unknowable God would never have made a universe as evil as this. The only way this could have been created is by
How could you ever know your divine abilities if you didn't have the most greatest adversary to go against?
it allowed Sophia to have the demiurge.
What my question is, how could you ever realize your greatest potential in yourself if you didn't create it simultaneously? We created it out
Well,
of. It's not like this is the thing. We cannot we cannot take away from the supreme essence we come from. Everything that we're going up against, we created it. Is what I'm saying. We created it. Whether it wasn't in that state that you're referring to. We created it in another state. And of course, we have to clean it up. We're responsible for this, bro. Regardless of
well,
regardless if you want to try to take somebody else. No, whatever did it was whatever you call it or give blame to it. We created it.
but see, because of the we see, like I keep saying, the divine sparks that was sent down here and put into man made man greater. So, what was the reason for those divine sparks? They were sent here to redo this abomination, to bring perfection to the imperfection.
Do you recognize that you always? have to have a flaw within the essence of who you are or who we are. We always have to have a flaw.
Yeah, because with that
There is
flaw,
not
there's
going to
going
be
to be
ever
conflict.
perfection. Perfection is how can I describe perfection? Perfection is even though I may be even creating this in my mind when I'm saying this, right? But this is what I'm seeing. Like perfection is like inactivities. It's inactivity. You're not active. It's not. It's no motion because you're perfection, right? There's little to no. It's like a still water or stagnant water. Perfection is like stagnant water. There's no motion. That's the best
Hmm.
way I can describe it. Perfection. You're perfect.
You can't grow no more. You're right, and then when you become right, only after that you rot and die.
But there's levels to that. So when you
But
reach
then
this
again,
level of
that's
perfection,
part. But then
when
again,
you reach
that's
this
part of the
level of
process too.
perfection, when you reach this level of perfection, there's still going to be a flaw there. Then you reach another level of perfection. You're bringing a percentage of flaw with every level of perfection. So I'm just saying, perfection is just levels,
Hmm.
right? They're just levels.
Hmm. So it's the same thing on a higher level or a lower level, on all levels.
Right.
It's the same.
We don't even understand what we be doing when we talk. We be actually quantifying this process of alchemy. This process, this quantifying is trying to conceptualize it in a sense, which is seemingly unknowable. It's unknowable unless you was in those states. The only way you experience is in those different states that you're in. See, we're even having a glimpse of these realities only because we're fluid in our states of consciousness. We're more fluent in the states of consciousness than others.
Yeah,
You
we've
know what
been
I'm
doing the
saying? So
rituals and the work
we can
to
experience
bring about this transformation.
right, right. So that in case we got to understand that the reason that what's happening to with because in the evolution, the nature of reality kind of shifts, right? It kind of shifts too because our consciousness is shifting. So reality is gonna come along with that. It's mind over matter, not matter over mind. So as
Yeah,
we
because
evolve,
all is mind, not all is matter.
right? So that as we evolved, reality itself is going to shift and change and shape and reshape itself. Because what is that really saying? That if you see those experiments where they do the vibration and they put the sand and it starts shaping, it starts doing these sacred shapes and stuff
They do that with water too.
with water too, right?
Hmm.
So what it's saying is our minds is actually sending a signal to this reality that's shaping the reality. They call it the morphic field, right? They're
Hmm.
saying the morphic field is some natural phenomena happening outside of humanity, but I think it is happening inside. There's really nothing not happening inside of humanity.
It's
Inside of
all
humanity,
outside.
right?
Humanity is just a show being played on a TV screen. The TV screen is the dark matter in the universe,
Right.
and
Did you
consciousness is being projecting itself off of that dark matter as this reality.
right. That's a good explanation of it. That's a good
Hmm.
explanation. So
Hmm.
we're only
And
looking at we're like I said, we're only looking at a figment of the actual potential reality that could be created or manifested. We're just looking at a figment of it. That's what they talk about when they talk about fractal reality, because we only see a
Because
portion.
each one of us
We only
is
access we only access a portion of it, and now we're evolving. Evolution also refers to the DNA coming online, what you call in junk DNA coming online, latent DNA, what they call latent DNA,
yeah,
meaning
probably
it's
higher.
dormant for a certain period of time. Until it, there are a number of factors that help in this. And then one is that we being exposed to certain cosmic energy,
Yes.
right?
Certain radiation, and plus the sun. We're in this grand solar maximum, so the sun is putting off crazy energy, and not only is it's reflecting energy that is getting from the central sun, from other suns too,
We're
and
we're accessing. You're right. You're right. We accessing the actual multi-dimensional um, things that we hadn't seen before because they were outside our vibrational frequency at the time. Now that we're vibrating on a higher frequency, we're tuning in, we get to see certain things, or we get to sense certain things that seemingly wasn't there, but they were always there.
and then okay, like I said, the sun is it's like having it's going through this period where it's giving off a lot of energy. What is the sun? What our sun is called? Sol. And Sol is a short word for soul. So what is the sun? The sun is a soul.
Yes, it is.
So that sun out there is a reflection of our soul. So it's only reflecting back to us what the soul was going on with the soul inside of
So,
us.
so the solar flares are indicator of the soul rising
Yeah. So
within
yeah,
humanity.
the solar flares are going off inside of us.
Yes.
And then the corona mass ejections outside. What about the corona mass ejections going on inside? What does the corona mass ejection do to us inwardly? It breaks down the matrix. It breaks down the physical part.
Right. Because if you go into what a solar flare actually does, right?
Hmm.
It actually is like a signal. It's like a pulsing thing, right? And
Wait.
it's like it's a wave. It's a pulse, like a pulsing thing. It's a signal basically, and that signal is interfering with the lake. That's why we're feeling more earthquake. They're telling you that's what's attributing to the planet getting more warmer, even
Mhm.
though that fluctuates because of how the
Well,
weather is.
it's the
Huh?
radiation. It's the
Yeah,
radiation that's coming from the sun, penetrating the core, heating up the core. And as the core heats up, the magma rises. And then at some point, all the continents are going to be floating on top of magma. And
there's
then that's
going to
how,
be a lot of natural disasters happening soon, y'all. So get prepared. You
well,
know what I'm saying?
not soon, now. A lot of natural
I'm talking
disasters.
about bigger than what we've experienced so far. I mean, there's a 7 point in northern America. I mean, Northern California recently. I mean, we haven't really
Oh, well, we're
experienced.
going
We
to
experienced
experience
a
that
seven,
next year.
huh?
We're gonna be experiencing that shit next year, 2025. That 2025 is 9, and in the year of the snake.
Right.
Okay, 9 is completion, and then year of the snake. Oh, that's Kundalini rising, baby.
Oh
That's the
yeah, the
seven
9 is
series.
like the coral rising. The 6 is the coral descending.
Hmm. Yeah. So, and all of this talking about. I mean, shit. All my numbers equal 9. All my birth numbers equal 9, and I'm born in the year of the snake. 25 is going to be a new. It's gonna be the end of something old and the beginning of something new. It's going to be completion, the completion of the old, and so something new can begin.
I mean, at the end of the day, like they've gotten us caught stuck in a perpetual loop, and we gotta break the loop. We're in a perpetual loop right now.
We are. I think we are. But see, we can. All we have to do is just channel energy, higher energy into this dimension that's going to work in our favor. And because of that, that'll raise the vibration up higher and higher until our energy overcomes their energy. Once our energy overcomes their energy, it breaks them.
I
They
don't think
break.
it's about overcoming their energy more than it's integrating it into this um, synchronicity and this because we literally are in the energy of Ma'at, where it talks about reciprocity and reconciling these two polarities, right? And
Hmm.
reconciling the polarities is like bringing all of that back into a marriage of
Oh,
energy.
now, okay. So then, so then, something has to be neutralized in order for that to occur. So one one part, something is going to have to be neutralized.
Well, you mean canceled out? That's this
Hmm.
reality is going to be neutralized. That's what's going to be sacrificed. This whole reality that was even just a figment that was as a placeholder for like Universe B.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a
Coming
placeholder.
soon. Because everything that we've reached a peak here. It's like we
No,
can't
yeah,
go
you're
any
right.
further.
You right. You are right. And guess what?
What?
The creation, like they can't go further on in this creation unless it's all you. There is no other way humanity can go except transhumanism and trying to integrate with themselves with machines. In this
And yeah.
particular right here, what we're doing right here, in a
Hmm.
in an alternate reality though that we can create through post millennium, through restoration of Moorish government, through reversion of
Bringing our
sovereignty,
political, bringing our political mother
and
out of her
literally
sleep.
being politically active in our political mother, which is Morocco. Why is that
Hmm.
important? That's important because now we create our own jurisdiction on the global international world, right? And we can do what we want to do as a sovereign nation and do what we supposed to do in our own best interest, and no one can say nothing about it. We will, and
In the best interest
why
of
are
the world.
we rising? How we failed because we were the greatest hegemony on the planet, the
We,
greatest hegemony on the planet, bro.
yeah, we didn't fall. We degenerated.
Right.
Like we never fell. We just got
I
old.
think it was the soul went into hibernation.
Yeah,
And
because it's been here so long.
in that state, when your soul going through the hibernation, it appears like a fall.
Yeah. Like I said, that where that shellfish, it reaches a certain level where it grows out of its shell and
Right.
it's vulnerable. It has no shell. It's
Right.
vulnerable to the outside world. And
Mm-hmm.
but eventually it grows a new shell and it's secure again. we're we're in that part where we lost our shell, and now we're growing a new one.
Right.
The new shell is going to be the submergence, the reemergence of our political mother. Like I told you in our conversation earlier today, I picture it's going to be like the Game of Thrones when Homegirl is riding on the back of that dragon. That dragon represents our political mother.
Yes, he does. Yes, it
Hmm.
does. Yes,
Yes,
it does.
and what she
Yes,
do?
it
She
does.
gives us protection.
Right. Right.
That's
Right.
this.
What?
Doesn't get any better than that.
Right. Wasn't the matriarchy a god in the Sumerian? Wasn't that a dragon too?
Yeah, Tiamat.
Tiamat. Yeah.
Mhm. And speaking of that, you know, these man, I was watching King Kong, Godzilla X Kong, the New Empire before we came on. That shit's on YouTube tonight.
Is it?
Yeah,
I watched it
I'll
already, but
send
I'm
you,
gonna watch it again if it's on there.
yeah, I'll send you the link. I can
Okay.
send you the link
Yeah.
now.
Send it. Send it. Send it. Send it.
Yeah, guys,
Yeah,
I'm
because
watching
I
Godzilla.
watched it already, but that's such a esoteric movie that is crazy. That
Yeah,
movie is so occultic.
now
They
being
go
able to
they
watch it
go
at
heavy
home.
in that movie. The first one,
Yeah,
especially, man. The first one, they just gave it all up in the first one. They said
yeah.
they just showed you all that shit in the first movie. You know what I'm saying? They
Hmm.
talked about the inner earth and how the inner earth is actually another dimension.
Yeah, it's like
And
going
you gotta, you gotta. The only way you can get there is to go through this reverse electric magnetic.
gravitational field.
Yeah, you got to go through a reverse electric magnet because it's the they reverse the
It's
gravity
inverted
in that
gravity. The
particular
gravity
area.
inverts.
Huh?
The gravity inverts.
Right.
It like
Inverse. Right.
yeah,
That's a good word for it. That's a good
yeah.
inverse.
I just sent it
Gravity
to you.
invert. Oh yes, yeah. Okay, I got it.
Uh-huh.
I got it. Yeah, that's gonna. I'm gonna watch that one. And I'm gonna watch that when we get off. But yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
get your last words in, bro. We gotta cut it short because
Well, last words again. We never fail. We degenerated, and now we're regenerating. We degenerated, went to our cocoon, and we've been in while in our cocoon stage. We've been given all of the substance that we need to metamorph into the next thing that we are to metamorph into. We're on the cutting edge. We're on the cutting edge. We're on the incline now. We don't know what the incline is like. We don't have no history of the incline in our era. The last time we've been on this side of the spectrum was a whole nother universe ago. I mean,
right.
many universes ago.
Yeah, this is a rare phenomenon.
This is rare. So from here, it's all creativity. It's we get to create the next fucking chapter, the next book, the next Bible, the next I don't know what the word for it, but we're all co-stars in this big event. And you're gonna have to change your whole way of thinking. You're gonna have to uninvert from what you're verted into now. Whatever whatever you're anchored into now, you're gonna have to reverse it, or you're gonna have to destroy it and start all over again with something new that's different than what you've been taught. Because everything we've been taught is bullshit.
Everything, 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 everything.
Everything. everything.
And
So we
those
can't
old old we under a lot of those old spells. Go ahead, brother.
you can't stand on none of that shit. There's nothing to stand on. So you're gonna have to invent something. And the only way and the only foundation for that is our ancient knowledge, the ancient symbols, what our ancestors were preparing us for. You get into that, and then you'll grow into what you need to be to go into this new age that we're going into. And you want to go into this new age right, consciously right. Because if not, you're going to turn into some grotesque monster.
That was
So
it.
that was it.
Okay, my last word is basically I second everything you were just saying. I want to just add to it, like, change your thinking, change your mind right now. This is when if you can change your mind, you're gonna change your reality. Period. If you can, because this is a hard task to actually unlearn what you learned.
Mm, yeah.
Unlearn what the hell you learned. Unlearn it.
Scary.
Get
Scary.
rid of it. Change this shit. And then when I was talking about chaos magic,
Mhm.
it's a necessity for that thought pattern. These things are coming to you. Everything that's coming to you right now that's outside of your normal mundane reality, with everything that's on the mundane level, is just the programming. This is just the beta mind that have you just reacting like an automaton, and just, you know what I'm saying, being influenced instead of being the influencer. That's the mindset. Be
Mhm.
the recognize you're supreme and not inferior. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That mindset right there is how you supposed to move in. Now, I'm not arguing with people, because people get mad at me because I want them. I see the divine in them, and I see the potential in themselves, but they don't, and they mad at me because I'm seeing it, and they gave up on themselves a long time ago. I'm not.
Yeah.
Go ahead, give up on yourself if you want to. I'm not arguing with you. All I'm saying is you got the potential of beyond God.
And we
So
need you. And we
we do
need you.
need
We need
you.
each
I
other.
mean, we need as many of those practitioners of this art as possible, bro,
Yeah.
because they have many remote viewers, people who are doing the bidding
Witches,
of these
warlocks.
magicians and these
Hmm.
warlocks. They're doing the bidding of these people. They are studying our ancestors way more than we are.
Yeah, you got those fake Jew Kabbalistic priests.
Let me finish. We are at the forefront. We are the vanguard. We are the vanguard, y'all. Those who even tune into this, you are the vanguard, and everyone is going to come to you eventually for spiritual guidance, right?
Hmm.
They're going to come to you because we're the only one that are even having the audacity to delve into these subject matters, because they are so taboo that people don't even want to have conversations about this. We are the ones that's bringing forth this reality, because all of that new founded reality based on we're vibrating on it, so we have access to it. It has to have somewhere to come through. It's coming through us, right?
Hmm.
All those who are on this level, it have to have some. If you stay on the mundane level, it can't come through that mind.
Never happened. Never happened.
It
It'd
can't come
just
through
be
that mind.
it'd just be something people talk about. It's
Well, people who on that level, that's like, it's like this is entertaining to y'all. So it's entertainment to y'all. Y'all think it's entertainment. Okay. At the end of the day, what y'all calling entertainment has so many symbolic symbolism and symbolism that you're not even paying attention to. That's the whole point of what they're doing it for. They're keeping you in a beta mind state and don't want you to think in your alpha mind state and just allow your consciousness to do what it's supposed to do. Because the subconscious and the consciousness is Islam, brother. The consciousness and the subconscious, and now people want to come in. We about to get out of here.
I get on the full screen, so I can't see.
Yeah. You got 3 people in here. Islam, y'all. We about to get out of here. We was
Thank
doing our
you for
last
coming
word.
in. Yeah.
Thank y'all for coming in. But what I'm saying is we are the vanguards of creating this new world, right? They even call it the new world and the new age, the new world, whatever. Right? We talking about a new universe, an alternate universe, a multi-dimensional reality realization that we are existing as multi-dimensional beings, and we're not bounded by certain realities like other entities that soulless or counterfeit souls that are here. So that's my last words, man. We got to get up out of here because I got to get ready for y'all. Tune in to my show tonight called Primordial Rhythms Radio, right? On Mixcloud. Stern, Ma'at Bay on Mixcloud. Primordial Rhythms Radio. Because we go into this type of stuff. I see what I do on my show, on that show, bro, is groundbreaking because no one is doing it. Because what I do is I will put Bobby Hemmett to a hip hop beat playing in the background and shit. I love it. You gotta go check it out. Okay. You gotta go check. Go check it out.
I know.
And I play every damn genre of soul music on the planet, from jazz to funk to all type of soul music. I only deal with soul music because we're dealing with soul evolution. All right, y'all.
Okay. It was nice, America.